Download and install VMware. VMware is a licensed virtualization software that can be used with many operating systems. To install VMware Workstation Player, open your favorite web browser. VMware is typed in your favorite search engine. Find the VMware website. Find Try Workstation Player on the VMware webpage and click Download. On the screen that appears, click Save File and download the installation package to our computer. The file size is large. The download will take time depending on the speed of your internet connection. When the installation file is downloaded, there will be an exe file starting with VMware in the folder you used for download. We can start the installation. Navigate to the folder where the VMware installation file is located. Double-click on the VMware file. Click the Next button on the screen that appears. On this screen comes the VMware license screen. Check the box and click Next. This screen shows where VirtualBox will be installed. If desired, this location can be changed by clicking the Change button on the side. We will use the default installation location for installation. There are additional features related to VMware below. You can click on them if you want it. Click the Next button. Click Next without making any changes on this screen. You can remove the boxes if you want. This screen contains shortcuts for VMware. Click the Next button. Click the Install button on the incoming screen. The files required for installation are uploaded to the host computer. Click the Finish button on this screen to finish the installation. The installation is successfully completed. Now we can install virtual computers. Throughout the course, we will use the Kali Linux operating system, which is widely used in penetration testing. Kali Linux is an open-source Linux distribution based on Debian. It comes installed in many hacking programs used in penetration tests. Therefore, it is widely used. We can install Kali Linux distribution on our host computer in several different ways. One of these methods is installation with ISO file. Opens your favorite web browser. From your favorite web browser, type Kali Linux in the search engine. The official website of Kali Linux is at the top of the results. Click here to download it. This screen lists the different ISO installation images available for Kali Linux. Each of these is released in 32-bit and 64-bit. Kali Linux uses the GNOME desktop by default. Click on Kali Linux 64-bit at the top. Click the Save button to download the ISO image file to your computer. The file size is large, and the download will take some time depending on the speed of your internet connection. When the file download is complete, go to the folder saved by your web browser. As you can see, the download has completed successfully. Kali Linux ISO installation. You can follow the steps below to install Kali Linux operating system with ISO file. Open the VMware Player application. Click Create New Virtual Machine on the main screen. On this screen, we can use a disk we created before at the top. You can continue the installation by selecting the Installer Disk Image Files file, or you can use the operating system at the bottom later. We will continue by selecting the ISO file. On this screen, the operating system type and version to be installed are selected. Select Ubuntu 64-bit as version. Click the Next button. Name information. Type the name we will use for the virtual machine. Where to install the virtual machine? By default, the VMware Player application sets virtual computers to see user's username documents virtual machines folder. We can change this location by clicking Browse. I create all virtual computers under one folder for simplicity. My recommendation would be to put all virtual machines under one folder. I use a folder called VMs on my computer. I create all my virtual computers here. I find the VMS folder by clicking the down arrow. I create a folder named Kali here. I click the Select Folder button. In the ISO image section, we write the path of the ISO file we downloaded earlier, or click the down arrow button to find the file on our computer. That's how it works. Click Next. We click on the Next button. On this screen, we specify the disk system of the virtual machine. We select 20 GB as the size. Click Split Virtual Disk into multiple files. Click Next. On this screen, we display specific information about the virtual computer we will create. Click the Finish button. When the creation process is complete, we can see the name of the virtual computer we created on the left side of the VMware main screen. On the right side, we can see the properties of the virtual machine we created. We can change these properties by clicking the Settings button. Return to the main screen and click the Start button. Our virtual machine is turned on, and we see the Kali Linux installation screen. On this screen, select Graphical Install with the arrow keys and press Enter. Select the language to be used. Click the Continue button. Select the location. Click the Continue button. Select keyboard type. Click Continue. Enter the virtual computer name. Click Continue. If we are using domain name, enter the domain name. Click the Continue button. Enter the root password to be used on this screen. We will use Tor password as password. Click Continue button. Select the time zone that the virtual machine will use. Click Continue button. The disk system is detected by the installation. Click Continue on the incoming screen. 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 On this screen, Kali has made the necessary changes to the virtual disk system as the operating system. Click Continue. Click Yes to confirm the changes. Click Continue. The operating systems and programs are now installed. This process will take time depending on the resources you have provided to the virtual computer. Click Yes on the screen that appears. Click Continue. Click Yes for Grub bootloader to be used at startup. Click the Continue button. Choose where to install the Grub loader. To do this, click on a half-day FDA. Click Continue. The installation is complete. The virtual computer boots up and the username and password screen appears. Username, Kali, and password, PASSW0RD. And the virtual computer is ready to be used. We can install the Kali Linux distribution with the ISO, or we can install it with the already installed virtual machine imager. These imagers are designed to be used by various VMware and Oracle VirtualBox virtualization programs, both 32-bit and 64-bit. Open your favorite web browser. Type Kali Linux in the search engine. Enter the download page. Click on Virtual Machines option. On this page, there are virtual computer image files ready for VMware and VirtualBox. Click on Kali Linuxware images. This process will take time depending on your internet speed. Add Kali Images VMware Player program. Click on the image file we downloaded earlier. Image file is downloaded with 7's extension. Extract the compressed file by right-clicking on it. You can use the extracted file either in the folder where it is located or by copying it into another folder. My recommendation would be to collect all virtual computers under a single folder. I use a folder called VMS on my computer, and I create all my virtual computers here. You can right-click on the image file and copy or move it with one of the copy or move options. Now let's add our virtual computer to the VMware Player menu. Open the VMware Player program. Click on the image file. You will see that the virtual computer has been added to the VMware Player menu. Start the virtual computer by clicking Start. The opening screen comes up. The username and password information is written in the description section of the virtual computer. Enter username, Kali, and password, Kali, and the virtual computer is ready to be used. Description. Metasploitable is a virtual machine image created by SourceForge. This virtual machine has many vulnerabilities. Metasploitable is an intentionally vulnerable Linux virtual machine. This virtual machine can be used for security training, testing security tools, and practicing common penetration testing techniques. To install Metasploitable, you first need to download the disk image file to your computer. For this, open your favorite web browser. Type Metasploitable in the search engine. Click on the link belonging to SourceForge among the results. Click on the Download option on this screen. When the Save button is clicked on the screen, the image file starts to be downloaded to the computer. The download process will take time depending on the internet connection speed. Add Metasploitable to VM Player. Open the VMware Player program. Click Open Virtual Machine. In the window that opens, find the Metasploitable image file you downloaded. Select the image file. Select the file. Click Open. In the window that opens, enter the virtual machine name and specify the folder where you will install the virtual computer. Select the folder by clicking the Browse button. I create all virtual computers under a single folder to make it easier. My recommendation would be to put all virtual computers under a single folder. I use a folder called VMs on my computer. I create all my virtual computers here. Click the down arrow to find the VMS folder where I create a folder called Metasploitable. Click the Import button. If the warning window appears, click Retry. The import process may take some time. When the import process is finished, Metasploitable computer will be added on the left side of the VM Player main screen. Start the computer by clicking the Play button. Enter the username and password. The default credentials are username, Vagrant, password, Vagrant. Our Metasploitable virtual computer is ready to use. Description: OWASP Web Broken is a virtual machine image created by SourceForge. This virtual machine has many vulnerabilities. OWASP Web Broken is an intentionally vulnerable Linux virtual machine. This virtual machine can be used to provide security training, test security tools, and practice common penetration testing techniques. To install OWASP Web Broken, you must first download the disk image file to the computer. For this, open your favorite web browser, type OWASP Web Broken in the search engine, click on the link belonging to SourceForge among the results. Click on the Download option on the screen. When the Save button is clicked on the screen, the image file starts to be downloaded to the computer. The download process will take time depending on the internet connection speed. On this screen, we will install OWASP Web Broken Machine. Right-click on the OWASP image file and open the compressed file. Image file is ready to use after extract. You can use the extract file either in the folder where it is located or by copying into another folder. My recommendation would be to collect all virtual computers under a single folder. I use a folder called VMS on my computer, and I create all my virtual computers here. I select all the extracted files and copy them by right-clicking. Then I go to the VMS folder. Here, I create a folder called OWASP and paste the files into this folder. Open the VMware program. Click Open Virtual Machine. In the window that opens, find the OWASP image file you downloaded. Select the image file. Select the file. Click Open. When the import process is finished, the OWASP virtual computer will be added on the left side of the VM Player main screen. Start the computer by clicking the Play button. Enter username and password. Username, root, password, OWASPWA, our OWASP Web Broken virtual machine is ready to use. We will set up a virtual network structure for the applications we will do in the training. In this way, we will prevent damage to real systems and other devices connected to the network while making applications. It is necessary to set up a virtual network in the VMware program because during the course, we will ensure that all the virtual machines we will use are in the same virtual network. A network is the ability of multiple devices to communicate with each other wired or wirelessly. It is used for connection to a network device. Usually, we will configure a NAT network so that all virtual machines are on the same network. When we create a NAT network, the virtualization program will automatically assign IP to all computers on this network. IP is the address required for a computer to communicate with other computers over the network. Each computer must have a different IP. Every computer connected to the internet has an IP address. IP stands for Address for Computers. Each computer must have a different address. There are two different versions of the IP address, IPv4 and IPv6. The commonly used IPv4 is 32 bits long. It consists of four 8-bit numbers, each separated by dots. Example, 192.168. 1.1. Each group of numbers can have a value between 0 to 155. If there are two computers with the same IP, there will be IP conflicts on the network. DHCP Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol is used to prevent this. DHCP assigns a different IP to each computer. This does not cause IP conflict. VMware NAT network created. To set up a NAT network, when a virtual computer is installed on VMware Workstation Player, it is created in NAT network by default. To see that the virtual computer you set up is in the NAT network, open the VMware Workstation Player program. Click on the virtual computer. Click Edit Virtual Machine Setting on the right side of the screen. The Virtual Machine Settings screen will appear. You can see that NAT is written in the Network Adapter section. Do the same for other virtual computers and complete your checks. Connection test. Testing that the installed virtual machines can communicate with each other. For this test, we need to check that each virtual computer can communicate with each other. For this, it is enough to check whether the virtual computers are on the same network and ping each other. Now let's test that the Kali Linux virtual system can communicate with other virtual systems over the network. For this, open Kali Linux, click on Terminal, ping the IP address of the Metasploitable computer. To do this, type ping Metasploit IP value and press Enter. The screen will show that the ping packets are going. This means that communication is taking place. Ping the IP address of the OWASP computer. To do this, enter ping OWASP IP value and press Enter. The display shows that ping packets are going out. In this case, communication is taking place. Ping the IP address of the Windows 7 computer. For this, enter ping Win7 IP value and press Enter key. The screen shows that the ping packets are going. In this case, communication is taking place. If it is seen on the screen that ping packets do not go, this may be because ping requests are blocked on the firewall on the Windows 7 computer. In this case, you can test whether there is communication by doing the reverse operation. Log in to the Windows 7 computer. Click the Start button. Type CMD in the search field. Open the command line. Enter the IP address of the Kali Linux computer in the command line. Type ping Kali IP value and press Enter key. It is seen on the screen that ping packets are going. In this case, communication is taking place. Ping the IP address of Windows 8 computer. For this ping Win8 IP value is typed and Enter key is pressed. The ping packets are shown on the screen. In this case, communication is taking place. If it is seen on the screen that ping packets do not go, this may be because ping requests are blocked on the firewall on the Windows 8 computer. In this case, you can test whether there is communication by doing the reverse operation. Log in to the Windows 8 computer. Click the Start button. Type CMD in the search field. Open the command line. Enter the IP address of the Kali Linux computer in the command line. Type ping Kali IP value and press Enter key. It is seen on the screen that ping packets are going. In this case, communication is taking place. Connection test. The IP address of the Windows XP computer. For this, type ping Windows XP IP value and press Enter key. The ping packets are shown on the screen. In this case, communication is taking place. If it is seen on the screen that ping packets do not go, this may be because ping requests are blocked on the firewall on the Windows XP computer. In this case, you can test whether there is communication by doing the reverse operation. Log in to the Windows XP computer. Click the Start button. Type CMD in the search field. Open the command line. Enter the IP address of the Kali Linux computer in the command line. Type ping Kali IP value and press Enter key. It is seen on the screen that ping packets are going. In this case, communication is taking place. Now our NAT network is ready.